Well, good morning. From Kuwait International Airport, where I just boarded a gulfair flight over to Bahrain. Later in this video, I'll be headed from Bahrain over to Jeddah, but once I get to Bahrain, they've got a free tour on offer. So in this video, we'll be taking a look at what the regional gulfair experience is like. This flight from Kuwait over to Bahrain is a very short hop. It'll be less than an hour in the air, and I'm seated over in seat 9A. Both of these flights will be flying in economy class, but sitting towards the front of the plane. And it is worth considering, for these regional flights, I saw that upgrades were available for as little as around $200, but after taking a little bit of a look at what the product looked like on board the regional flights in business class, I deemed it just wasn't worth it, at least not for this trip.
Earlier than planned, we pushed back from the gate, and as we taxied out to the runway, we were greeted with some beautiful sunrise views.
This airport's really not that busy at all this morning, and we boarded quite fast, mostly I guess because the flight is like half empty, maybe even more than half empty. It's a Tuesday morning and it's an early morning flight, so kind of to be expected, but sometimes it doesn't happen that way. I'm pretty glad my wife and I have this free middle seat here though. And when booking these flights, we'll go over how much I paid for them at the end of the video. But in the meantime, it's worth considering that there were quite a few different flights between Kuwait and Bahrain today. But the free tours offered to gulfair passengers have kind of strange operating hours. It's basically 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. or I think it was 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. and there's nothing else in between. So you've got to schedule your flights around that. And for me, that means that I'm going to have like an 8-hour layover in Bahrain, and my second flight over to Jeddah will only be at 6, except I just got an email that it's been delayed. But the safety briefing's already over and we're just pulling into our final runway. Plus they've turned on the entertainment, which is kind of a nice touch. This is an A320neo, so relatively new, and I can hear the engines roaring up as I talk. So let's check out these takeoff views. So yeah, there does seem to be quite the selection when it comes to entertainment on board. And for shorter flights, the seats they've got in this aircraft in economy are relatively comfortable, plus they do give you a pillow. And the only thing that I'd really say isn't quite adequate is the legroom. It is a bit tight here. One row from the front row of the economy class there that has a lot more legroom. And you can see here, luckily there's nobody in the middle seat. But if you put your seat back, there's just like absolutely no space at all. And it would be, even for like a 50-minute flight, just a terrible experience sitting here. I mean, look at this, it would be like that. Luckily the person in front of me is being kind and not putting the seat back. And despite being such a short flight, you do get some kind of small snack. It's a bit hard to open though, it's really not clear what it is. It appears to be some reformation of a cinnamon bun with maybe nuts in it or something. Yep. And in true Turkish Airlines fashion, Gulf Air fashion, they give you a little water cup thing. Gosh, it tastes like water. But seriously, like drinking out of this thing, it's kind of hard to see with the camera maybe, but you probably get some microplastics just from that plastic-based glue that's got the lid sticking to the plastic cup. Not ideal. It's also worth noting that at least on this flight, there's no Wi-Fi available. Competing airlines such as Qatar or Etihad do have Wi-Fi available, so that's definitely something to consider. But a little snack, a tiny little bit of water, and some pretty nice views, well, mostly of clouds, from the window, and I'm just about 5 minutes from landing here. Already over here at the gate, so should be off in just a minute, but they say to get there an hour early for your tour. My tour's at 9 a.m. My flight was supposed to arrive at 8:15 a.m. But the fact of the matter is we're almost 30 minutes early, so I should be okay. So many smells in this airport. At first in the jet bridge it was a little bit not good, and now it's very, very good and vanilla-y everywhere. Hi, could you point us in the direction of the free tour?
Yeah, you will go straight and then put me on the right.
Okay, cool, thanks. Found it. Free city tour. And a very great perk about taking this tour is that you can visit the country of Bahrain without paying their visa fee. So, I'm halfway through entering the country. I've just got to go through customs now. And bam, entered Kuwait, wrong country. And bam, entered Bahrain for free. Coffee, 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 coffee. Well, first stop of the tour is waiting for 30 minutes in the airport arrivals area, which is actually really nice. It's comparable to the ones that you might find in like Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Muscat, places like that. So I got a little bit of Starbucks coffee, because that's what they have over here at the airport. There's something like 12 people doing this tour today, and they just put you in a microbus, and I guess they're gonna drive us around, and show us some of what seems like a beautiful country.
Bahrain is an archipelago. You can see at least 33 islands. These 33 are natural islands. The rest are man-made islands.
As we drove on, the guide took us through some of the basics of Bahrain, including the customary Gulf country warning of maybe considering not visiting during summer due to the high temperatures, with a twist.
Our summer can go up to 47 degrees in August. We are still love the summer because that's when you get dates. You cannot get dates in the winter.
Eating dates? Or
Dates.
Like to eat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not going out with a girl, no.
That's the question.
In the summer, you don't want to know the other person. You're just too hot.
Air conditioning.
No romance, trust me. Nobody want to know anyone in the summer. Not Bahrain summer. We're only romantic in the winter. 47 degrees.
Yeah.
It's a lot. With a 66% of humidity. So you just want to breathe. You don't want anyone near you. That's why you don't see any days.
Before making our first stop on the tour, we got the lowdown on two things that Bahrain is famous for.
We have the best gold maybe in the world. 21 karat, 24 carats. So if you're interested. On your right hand side you can see a wooden ship. Those wooden ships, you take a look at the sea, you see more of these. Those wooden ships used to be used for pearl diving because we had a long history of pearl diving, more than 5,000 years.
So basically it goes like another day in a Gulf country, another giant mosque. That's the first stop of this tour though. It's called Fateh Mosque. And quite a nice inner courtyard over here. You have to take a guide to go in this mosque though. And of course no shoes allowed. On the day that I decided not to wear socks. Oops.
Welcome to Fateh Mosque. It's the biggest mosque in Bahrain. It was built between the year 1984 and 1988. Between this main hall and the balcony all around can take 5,000 people.
But being a space built for 5,000 people with pretty fancy Irish carpeting all throughout, that means a lot of vacuuming. So at some point as the vacuums got closer, it got a little hard to understand what the guide was saying. But the basic idea was that each part of the mosque was sourced selectively from different parts of the world, except for the dome. The dome was made in Bahrain out of fiberglass, and it's the biggest of its kind in the world.
And a little bit more on the history of the mosque here. The name Al-Fateh, or literally in Arabic means the conqueror, and it's named after Sheikh Ahmed bin Mohammed bin Khalifa. So he was the conqueror, who conquered Bahrain in 1783. Now it makes sense. Next stop, well, it must be the 3 hours sleep that I got last night, and the fact that I'm on this free guided tour, but I can't remember what the next stop is, so let's go find out.
But this part of the tour started to feel a little bit less like a tour, and we kind of just drove around town for a minute and then made a 20-minute stop at a shopping mall.
One question for you, after the tour, if we don't have a visa, do we need to get a visa to stay in Bahrain? Okay. Only for the tour, yeah, okay. So, it definitely feels like there's no way you could get to know any place in 3 hours, of course, obvious. Didn't expect for that to happen or anything. But I guess just the fact that you'd usually have to pay some money to get a visa to see this means you're getting something for free. I don't know. Now I can be like, check Bahrain? And back on the bus again.
Soon enough, we got back into tour mode again, and the next stop turned out to be our best stop.
And being in the Gulf means, of course, another day at another mosque, and another day, another set of nice local smells, but also another day, another souk.
After a quick explanation of the souk, the post office next to it, and the surrounding area, the guide gave us about 30 minutes to go around on our own.
This souk is super, super calm. Like the one in Kuwait that I visited just yesterday, it's just very calm. I don't know what to say. It doesn't feel like the Middle East that much to me, but it smells like the Middle East. So I'll take it. But they've got all kinds of stuff here. The thing though, is that Bahrain is really known for its pearls. So, important stop is to figure out how expensive pearls really are. What is the meaning of your shop's name, Rasasi? Red, Rasasi.
Okay,
What does it mean?
that means grey color.
Gray color. My wife's name, it's Rasa. So I have to ask. Shukran. Yes, sir, how are you? Separate shops here or is all one? Same? Same. Where is the pearl section? Okay. Diamond. Pearl. Okay. Okay. Wow. Gosh.
Let you-
Cool. Okay, so basically each pearl comes with its own certificate and gives you all the information.
Yeah,
And the price, what is that based on exactly?
that's the size.
Just the size. Okay, okay. Weight.
And
Same like
also
gold.
diamond, clarity, depend on that one.
There's also diamonds involved
Yes.
here. Yeah,
The total price is coming.
Okay.
Gold, diamond, and Lulu also.
yeah. Understood.
This one I will example. I will tell you. We have making 60% off also.
60% gold.
Yes, off.
Ah, 60% off.
Yes,
That's a big discount without anyone asking.
yes. 1,030.
Okay, like
Dollar.
this one you're talking about.
Yes,
Okay.
dollar this one.
How? So there's diamond in
Yes.
here. There's
Diamond also.
white gold and there's
Yes.
a pearl.
Diamond also here certificate, international certificate. That one also.
Okay.
I will tell you. The diamond is coming 13 cent. Okay.
Okay. I
And
understand.
the gram gold is coming 2.6. And pearl is the clarity also.
Okay.
Also, yes. Weight illa play illa ado clarity.
Clarity.
Clarity illa. Carrot.
Carrots. Okay, I understand.
And also all details also here.
Okay.
Okay. Just try it.
Let's see. I don't think so.
Okay. Size is no problem. We can make it in 2 minutes.
Okay. Gangster.
And
That's cool. Well, nice pearl. Fortunately, our budget is about $100 US.
100. You like any gold items?
No, the pearl was the idea, but like even a single pearl is gonna cost more than 100, right?
Maybe almost.
Maybe almost.
100.
Okay.
That depend on the weight, clarity, everything.
Okay. That's a lot of pearls, though.
Yes.
I was looking for like one, but the small ones are much.
I will give you the
$540.
final price. This one also.
Okay.
Only the pendant.
Yeah, I think we're not gonna buy it. Like I said, our budget is quite small.
No, you can take the picture. Traditional one.
Okay. This is traditional Bahrain. That's the style.
Yeah.
So it's glass and what is
Glass.
this? Okay. Huh.
That's also waterproof.
Ah, cool, man.
Your
Nice.
name?
David. What's your name?
My name is Jisman.
Jisman.
Yes.
Okay, pleasure to meet you. Where you all from?
I'm from Kerala, India.
India. Nice. Okay. Also?
Also, I'm also from
Kerala.
Kerala.
Okay. What? My wife's been there.
Sorry?
Long time ago I was.
She visited me now. And a long time living in Bahrain, or?
Yeah, I'm only one year.
Only 1 year. Okay. Longer.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
I'm also
Bahrain.
Dubai also?
Yeah.
Okay. What's better, Bahrain or Dubai?
Bahrain.
Okay. You said that just because you're here?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Goodbye. Take care. You too. Well, let's see. Let's try another market. What kind of stuff do they sell here? Bahrain, Pakistan International Airlines, Emirates A380. So, a calm market, but I've got to leave now. Before that, a juice. Hi, how are you? Avocado juice?
Yeah.
Okay, with card is okay? Payment?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the price?
1 dinar 200.
That's the smallest.
No, medium.
Medium, 1 dinar. Okay.
Large 1 dinar 500.
And small?
Small one 700.
Okay, okay. 2 small avocado, easy.
2.
Yeah.
And small also.
Traditional Bahraini food. India.
I'm from India.
Which city?
Huh?
Which city?
I'm from India, Kerala.
I was there
Yeah.
a long time ago.
Good, no? Kerala good?
Yeah, it
Good.
was nice.
But it seems like there are a lot of Indians living over here. And Indian food, is just some of the best of the world. It's pretty good samosa, a little bit spicy, but good. But that was the last stop on the free stopover tour, so we got back in the bus and headed back to the airport. So that's quite a nice little informational tour they've got on offer, to be honest. Definitely ask questions if there's stuff you want to know that's not being addressed. But the tour is only a little less than 3 hours long. So now I'm finding myself back at the airport, and I've got 6 hours until my flight. And so there was a schedule change that was just announced like last night that I got in an email that I saw this morning. It was only like a 35-minute schedule change or something, but point proven. Anytime there's any kind of schedule change, delay, cancellation, anything like that, always get what you can get. So I just went over to the desk. I said, what can you do? We've got like some extra time to wait here. And I got a meal voucher. So I get to choose from one of these restaurants. Not quite like going to a lounge or something, but I am kind of hungry. It's lunchtime. So That's a nice thing, Gulfair. You didn't even have to do that. Thank you.
So, how should you pass 6 hours at an airport if you don't have lounge access? Well, some free curry and basmati rice was a good place to start, but for the remaining 5.5 hours, I basically edited the first part of this video. Free tour or not, it's always a good idea to bring plenty to do when you have a layover at an airport.
And even without lounge access, this is actually a pretty cozy and not busy airport to wait around in. Plus, every time it's time for the call to prayer, you get to listen to this. Well. I landed over here at Bahrain Airport this morning just before 8 a.m. and it is now right around 6 p.m. That's a full work day plus 2 hours. Wow, I've been at this airport for 10 hours, but finally, it's about time to go head over to Jeddah and see if this second Gulf Air flight is better, worse, or pretty much the same as that first one. But it is appearing that the flight must be delayed because it's supposed to depart at 6:35 and it's 6:30 now. Unfortunately, there's been absolutely no communication from Gulf Air on the matter though, so let's see.
Luckily, just a few minutes later, boarding commenced.
Just 7 minutes after the already rescheduled departure time, and I'm headed to the jet bridge. Well, the last flight was on an A320neo. This is on a slightly bigger aircraft from the same family, the A321neo. So let's get me to Jeddah and see what it's like aboard Gulf Air on my second regional flight. And again, as I'm walking through, they've got this business class setup. Like, it does look pretty sleek for a regional business class, I would say, if you compare to like Etihad, Qatar. And the wide bodies is not quite on that level. But then again, this is a narrow body. Those airlines also fly narrow bodies. But the upgrade price was, I want to say it was around like $200 again for this flight. Maybe slightly more than the first flight actually, maybe about $250 equivalent. So I thought I'd just do the absolute worst seat on this airplane rather than the best one. So I'm going to be taking the middle seat, not towards the back, kind of in the middle of the aircraft, but it will give you really a good example of just how bad Gulf Air could be. Just playing. But I am a solid believer that the window seat is the experience that will tell you if you're flying in a good economy class or not so good economy class. So let's see, what's Gulf Air got to offer?
Let's just say that middle seat was pretty tight. And as it turned out, the already delayed flight would have to wait another 30 extra minutes at the gate for some connecting passengers.
They should be joining us anytime soon now.
So, 7:38, and we have finally pushed back and everything. And hopefully with any luck we'll be in Saudi Arabia by 10 p.m. That's a few hours late, Gulf Air. But oh well, what can you do? Upon boarding, one thing I did notice, however, is that there's no in-flight entertainment in the sense that there's no screen. Nevertheless, there is in-flight entertainment via Wi-Fi. But I haven't been able to get the Wi-Fi to work yet, so hopefully once we get in there, it will start working. But Bahrain Airport doesn't seem busy at all during this time. There don't seem to be any aircraft in front of us, so we're just heading out the runway, and I suppose we'll be in the air in just a second. Though, this is now pretty late at night, and there's not going to be any cool views as I had hoped there might be. And we're off in no time, taking off. Should be a little bit over 2 hours in the air. Bye-bye, Bahrain. But I think I quite underestimated the views that are available on this night flight because just getting close to our cruising altitude now, we're flying over Dammam, Saudi Arabia, and that place is lit up at night. I don't know if I've ever seen a brighter city anywhere. And quick enough, service has already started. Let's see what they're serving on board today. The plate of choice for everybody is shawarma. Any good? Edible. Maybe. Let's try. And they've got a little selection of drinks. Pretty nice for a shorter flight, I think. Includes orange juice, includes coffee and tea. All your basics. To shawarma or not to shawarma? It's okay. And now the flight's a little over halfway through. Just a little under an hour left, I'd say. It's not been all that bad. One big downside, though, is obviously there's no IFE in terms of a screen or anything like that. But the internet doesn't work on this flight, so there's no IFE at all, actually. So there's a lot of people around that aren't very entertained by the IFE and might or might not be kicking my chair and putting their feet up on it and things like that, which isn't great. So shouldn't really ever have to point it out, but obviously you don't want to kick anybody's seat when you're on an airplane. Oh well. But in terms of everything else on this flight, Gulf Air is okay, but nothing all that impressive. And this flight's just maybe a tad bit worse than the first, probably largely because the IFE is not working, because the Wi-Fi is not working. So I think that the chance to see a new country today, Bahrain, probably made it worth taking these flights. But even regardless of the price, Gulfair has kind of a small network, so just the chance of their flights being convenient for what I need, again, is actually kind of low, I would say. And I mean, on top of that, they're not a member of any airline alliance, so I don't really get any kind of status benefits flying with them either. But when it comes down to it, the price I paid was right around 170 US dollars for a flight this morning from Kuwait to Bahrain, and then this flight this evening from Bahrain to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. It's not really a stellar deal, but I also booked it very last minute, so there's that. Would I take Gulfair again for that price? Almost certainly no, to be honest. But I do say that in large part just due to the fact that there are quite a few competitive airlines in the Gulf region.
But at that point, I was so ready to get to Jeddah and have a bed to sleep in. So when we started our descent into Jeddah, I was pretty happy at first, but little did I know I'd be in for a really nasty surprise.
Pretty much the worst feeling you could have when you get off an airplane is when you can't hear out of one or both ears. It's been over a year since this happened to me. Gulfair, thank you so much. I can't hear out of my left ear. Nah, I'm just playing. It's really not Gulfair's fault. There's like a ton of factors at play that make cabin pressure different, and also your sinuses and ears work different. Unfortunately, it's the case that I still can't really hear out of my left ear. But anyway, I do hope you enjoyed this video, got something out of it. Perhaps just enjoyed seeing Bahrain, or perhaps got a good idea of what it's like to fly Gulfair, or both. So if you liked it, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel for many more videos.